And the nation's report card is out today, and it shows American students are testing at historic lows. Education Secretary Linda McMahon is calling it a devastating trend and says we need to return education to the states. Secretary McMahon joins us now. You are in Austin. We'll talk about why in just a moment. I just want to show everybody these scores. Sad but true, the nation's report card shows that at or above proficient at 8th grade science, only 31%. 12th grade math, this is when you're graduating from high school, 22%. 12th grade reading, 35%. And over the last many years, over the last 30 years, these numbers have gone down over and over again in terms of grade reading levels, being proficient. And you know, you took over only about 8 months ago. This probably isn't a huge surprise to you, but what do you think it means that we should be doing right now? I mean, there's lots of national emergencies being called, including possibly on housing. Is this a national emergency too?
Dana, I do believe it is, and thanks for having me this morning. I can tell you that when I look at these scores, and I've made literacy my #1 priority during my term as Secretary of Education, because I do believe that if our students cannot read, they're not going to be successful anywhere. And I think the underlying reason that math scores and science scores are down so far is because, first and foremost, reading scores are so low. I think in seniors, 12th grade, if I remember the stat correctly, I think that's the lowest we've seen since the NAEP scores were first done in 2005. And that's just an incredibly devastating trend to look at in our country. So we're spending a ton of money on education. We've spent $3 trillion since the Department of Education was established, only to see scores continuing to decline. And that's just that's a trend we have to stop. And I think the money's not being spent where it needs to be spent, and that's at the states. And that's why the President and I are certainly on a path and a mission to return education to the states.
We've been looking at Randy Weingarten. She has the biggest teachers union, to see if she's had any reaction since these scores were released at midnight last night. No dice. We don't have anything yet. And yet I think back to the protests outside the Department of Education after you were confirmed, and Elon Musk and his team were there talking about DOGE, and you came out and you joined them. And I'm just curious if you think there will be any protesting today on behalf of children and parents and the future of the rest of our country that is in peril if these scores don't improve.
Well, I do think that parents have already started to be up in arms about this. And I think that's one of the reasons when you talk about returning education to the states, you see parents who are now going to school board meetings. They're more involved in school board elections. They're paying more attention to the curriculum that their children are being taught, because they're looking at these scores and they're saying, we have to improve this. And when states are in control, states are innovative. Where we've seen the greatest improvements are in states like in Louisiana and Mississippi that have adopted the science of reading. It's a little bit more back to the basics of teaching reading. I think we have to focus on our math scores as well, and have some of the same programs in place to do that. Because the national level, I think so many people think that the Department of Education controls curriculum and buys books and hires teachers. We do none of that. That's all done at the state level. The Department of Education is kind of a pass-through of appropriated funds through Congress. We do oversee some competitive grants of getting that money out, but we are not in charge of curriculum and what's being taught. And I think when times before, that's been tried on a national basis with No Child Left Behind and core curriculum and Race to the Top. It was with the best of intentions, but it has never worked. States are inventive, they're innovative, they put their money behind their programs, and if we can provide best practices and toolkits to those states for what's working in other states and what other states are doing to be successful in getting those scores up, then I think that's our job. And that's my mission. I'm in Austin today because I'm going to tour the Alpha School, which is a very new program using AI learning. And I want to see exactly how they're doing that. I was at a classical education school yesterday, which is more, back to basics. So it's going to be interesting touring and seeing what all the best practices are.
Well, sounding the alarm on these scores, and more to come on that. Linda McMahon, the Secretary of Education, thanks for joining us today, and have a good day down there in Austin.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.